Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new What If here. Today we will be doing What If Naruto was a full Uzumaki Part 1. And well, I don't know, I was just going through YouTube seeing if there were any kind of like new What Ifs or any like popular ones, because well, why not? Yeah. Or just seeing anyone start just, caught my fancy. And I was like, well, I've always had an idea of what would happen or what could happen if Naruto was a full Uzumaki. And to be honest, well, I don't know. Obviously I don't really know what would happen. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Don't know where I'm going with it. Anyway. Of course, guys, if you do end up enjoying this, please like it, or if you don't really want to like it, then at least tell me in the comments down below, hey, I think this is, good, or just, I don't know, type of random lettering. Yeah. I don't know, but at least give me some type of feedback, as, any feedback is good feedback, be it, I guess, as long as you're not trying to moan at me directly, like, get all of it already, you always take so long, well, don't skip ahead. Well, anyway, let's actually get into this. So, like, the beginning of, well, not the beginning, more so the, so before Naruto begins, we know that of course the Sage of Six Paths and I forget the name of the toad, but the Mount Miyaboku toad, who is like the one that predicted that, well, not predicted, but at least kind of guessed that there would be, a person, a person that could name all nine-tailed beasts. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, and of course, you'd predict Naruto if he mentioned any, like, say, hair colour or that, obviously it'd be red instead of blonde, but I don't think he did. Just trying to remember, I don't think he did, because I haven't watched that in a while. Anyway, so yeah. And then of course we would cut to when Naruto actually starts. And yeah, well, the start of the anime, where we pretty much see, there's, just slightly before, where of course we get, Naruto's bath, and yeah, of course, Kushina's obviously, she was born in Uzumaki, so she's still 100% Uzumaki, because that'd be odd. But the only one that would change would be Minato, because he would be also a full Uzumaki. But I'd say he would be living in, like, the village. Like, of course, he knows. He has some idea about, like, the whirlpool, like the land of the whirlpools, where his parents are from, but, he's never really personally been there, because it's destroyed in the war. And of course we know Kushina came before the war started, so the Whirlpool village was still there until the war kind of started, and then it got destroyed. So yeah. But yeah, like the only place he's known is Konoha. So, he grows up there, and then of course, Kushina is chosen to be the next Jinchuriki, so she goes over to Konoha, and of course she's, like, worried, they're, allies and all, but, like, she thinks there's Namdi, that other clan, but I'd say the eldest, like, well, of course, people, live all over the place that are Uzumakis, and I think that is I think there's, a possibility that there could be someone in Konoha. I can't remember if there was. As I'm getting on now, but I think there was possibly one person in Konoha. I'm not sure what that person's doing. Obviously, he'd be old, or she, or whatever. Like, we don't really know. So I'm just guessing, and it was like the leader, with trying, like calm, like, well, try and comfort her, make her feel a bit better. And she's like, the person be, you're the best choice. You've got the most chakra, Krishna. You've got the most chakra out of anyone that's ever lived, ever here. So yeah, be proud, and be proud of that, and never, give in to its anger. Yeah, find love, find happiness, find someone that loves you, that will look after you. Find that person and be with that person. Find the person that that loves you. And yeah, she goes over, and obviously, she's like, we've got a transfer student. So from here, and she's an uzumaki. As they're like, so they're like, oh no, so we've got another uzumaki now. Yeah. And he's like, hey, what's that mean? It's like, wow. It's like, well, you don't know. It could be, that person could be, I don't know, even better than me or what. So you don't know. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know who. Well, you wouldn't say that. She'd walk in and, she'd be signed. But she'd, see, obviously, the person in the hidden village. Obviously, she at least comforted her and said that, there's, she's like, dear, dear, there is, she's like, I'm scared, I'm like the only, I'm the only person, once, you're gonna be the only person of our tribe here. So, don't worry, dearie, there's 3 other people. There's 2 adults and 1 child. Child, I'd say, is about the same age as you, and of course his parents are living here as well, so you don't have to worry. There are other people that live here, other Uzumaki members that live here. As she's surprised, and she remembers obviously what the elder said, and she feels at least a little bit more. She feels a bit more happier that at least someone from her village or someone from her clan is there. Some that's some recognisable, kind of. Yeah, and she would sit down. She would be called what she kind of was in canon. And people would make kind of fun of her. Well, yeah, they'd still kind of make fun of her, and she'd kind of like feel, this guy's just a joke, he does just stick up for me, kind of like he's a news action, stick up for your own clan members. And obviously when the the attempted kidnapping of her happens, of course he'd come and save her, and she'd be wondering why now, and you tell why, because well, she could handle herself. Like he saw that you didn't need someone to interfere with you, to help you. You're strong-willed. You can stand on your own 2 feet. You don't need somebody else to help you. And of course, from that day forward, you obviously fall in love. And of course, I'd say he'd become the first, he'd be the first Uzumaki to be, like the Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village. And for quite a while, to say the least. And of course they do it they do it, and they have Naruto around the same period of time that they do. And you'd still kind of say what he does, like in the bath scene. Where he's like, come on Naruto, come on Naruto, get out then, Kuma, you stay in there. Yeah, Kuma, you stay in there. Naruto, come on, get out there now. And he's like, yeah. Just demanding that his baby gets out of his wife. And yeah, it's pretty funny. And of course, kind of funny and sad, obviously, as that episode we see what happens, how his parents died and all. And that was when he met his mum, because his mum explained that backstory and all of that. So yeah. Yeah. And so he'd still end up doing the Reaper Death Seal, but obviously, he would live at least a bit longer. So yeah, instead of dying before Kusuno, he'd still pretty much die instantly, because you can't really live without your soul. And of course, in this timeline, he would be selling the entire Nine Tails inside of Naruto. As he would say he's got average for his clan. Like Minto, being in Uzumaki now, he's got average chakra for his clan, for the Uzumaki clan, and of course, I forgot her name. Kusuno, he's got apparently monstrous amount, tons, even more than the standard Uzumaki. She's high even in the Uzumaki clan, chakra reserve. So yeah, and of course Naruto's then gonna have even higher, and he's gonna even have even higher, because he's got, instead of half of the Nine Tails, he's got the full Nine Tails. And of course since birth, so he's been his I would say his chakra reserves are already going to be possibly doubled since birth, maybe even tripled. You guys tell me how big his you guys would think his chakra reserves would be from birth, because it had to be a lot to hold half the Nine Tails, as we know to hold the Nine Tails, since it said the Uzumaki clan are the only people known to exist that can be the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails Fox, because of just the raw power, the raw chakra needed to hold it back. Yeah, and of course their upside is they've got a ton of life force, which means they live for quite a long time, and if they don't become a Hokage, they'll probably live through 4 to 8 Hokages before they meet their end, maybe even more, who knows. And yeah, because I think Kuma's probably because isn't already of course they were captured, I think roughly around the same time, but was Kuma being sealed though inside of, or was Kuma one of the last Hell Beasts to be sealed? I'm not sure, but but because of course Kuma only being able to be sealed inside of an Uzumaki, Kuma was already only going to have 3 very small Jinchuriki count compared to his other family members. that, you know, like, say by the time, you know, he got to Naruto, the rest could have already had 10, you know, 10 Jinchurikis. We don't really know. Yeah, yeah. None of them, well, I don't think none of them have had a, like, a uzumaki, you know, like, Jinchuriki, and if they did, then, damn, you know, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And, you know, Naruto grown up. Well, no. Before that, of course, Kuma would remember and notice how it would be a bright red, to say. Just saying. Yeah, kind of lovely red. I'm just trying to think, like, you know, a nice bright red strawberry. Like, you know, that kind of colour. Nice, bright, vibrant red, like a strawberry. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, you know, Kuma, like, you know, just before he's remembering now, you know, like, just before, you know, he was sealed, he remembers looking at, you know, a baby with, like, this same, like, you know, the colour hair that I just described, and Kuma would be thinking, didn't the old man say that, you know, like the child of prophecy, like, you know, because obviously, you know, the tail beasts know of the child of prophecy, which of course we all know is to be Naruto. But yeah, and well, yeah, he's kind of thinking, he's like, you know, it's got to be this boy, you know, he's the only one with red hair that, you know, I've been sealed in with this, you know, colour of red hand plus what the old man said. Well, I can't confirm it right away, but I'll just have to, you know, wait until he's at the age where he'll be able to talk to me, and that where he's able to, you know, sense my presence. He says or thinks to himself. I don't really know. I think he says it out loud. Don't know. Yeah, and of course, then, you know, time passes. I'd say, well, no, of course, you know, because of what happened now to. Oh no, I guess leave in the comments down below, would he still be picked? Because, you know, he's obviously, you know, Uzumaki, and it's pretty obviously, you know, he is one. And obviously the villagers would know that, you know, the fourth Kage was a Uzumaki. And that, and, you know, they would pretty easily, you know, connect the dots. But tell me, you know, in the comments down below, guys, you know, like, do you think Naruto would still be picked on? No, yes, no, or would he be, you know, like, oh, you're the fourth Hokage's, you know, son, or that, you know, yeah, or would that be, you know, kept, like, in, like, a secret, like him being, you know, the tail beast was kept a secret from him? But yeah, and of course, you know, like, as he grows up, you know, he would then start the academy, and he'd work his way through the academy. Say on your guys', you know, opinion, if he gets bullied. If so, then that would shape his early life, and that he'd probably, well, yeah, I'd be waiting for your opinion. So I can't really say, you know, he'd be like a troublemaker or somebody that's looking for you know, attention. Yeah, I'd say maybe sometimes, but not often. As one day, you know, he'd be like, you know, he'd be thinking, like, you know, like, the third Hokage, you know, he's, like, you know, hasn't really answered Naruto, and, you know, he's getting frustrated. Nobody wants to tell him who his parents are, and that, you know, he knows he's got red hair, and that, you know, yeah. But, you know, he wants to know more. What is he? You know, who is he? What clan is he from? who's his parent. And, he gets frustrated enough that Kuruma, is kind of able to pull him in because of that. Of course, Naruto is now conscious that, hey, there is somebody inside of him. And, he then goes, where am I? As, a voice, shouts out, over here, brat, and you're in your mind. It's like, I'm in my mind, what? It's like, yes, come over here and I will explain everything to you. As mind you, he's got the whole 9 tails, so he hasn't got the, oh yeah, I'll take over his body / kill him. He hasn't, that side is still obviously there, but, there's his calm side and, you'd see a more laid back Kuma, like you did in, in Naruto, that kind of laid back. Yeah. And Naruto would go up and you go, yeah, you're the 9-tailed fox, aren't you? It's like, so you know of me. It's like, but I only know what the people have said. That, I may, as I've got, some bullies pick on me and say that, I'm just like the 9-tailed fox, I always ruin stuff. But, I don't know, what's going on. It's like, well, boy, I don't exactly want to tell you who your parents was, they had enemies and that, and, but your parents were killed. Obviously, as, that's why they ain't here, but they were, you have to keep this obviously secret from, that third Hokage, because, when I tell you this, he won't know that you know, and if you tell him, he's gonna want to know, who told you and that. And, and it would just make stuff, a lot more complicated. He's like, oh, okay, I won't tell him, he's never told me anything about my parents. And he's like, well, I won't tell you much about your parents, but your parents were very important people, Naruto. And, you're from a clan called the Uzumaki clan. They have a special, Geki Genkai, which is the adamantium ceiling change. It's like, I don't think I've ever heard of it. It's like, well, no, as it's, a Geki Genkai, it's only specific to a, clan, and only, certain clans have a Geki Genkai. But the Uzumaki clan was the only, clan known out there that everyone could use, everyone in their, village, or, just everyone that was an Uzumaki could use the adamantium ceiling change. Because they would have to be, trained in them to be able to properly use them, but they, could always awaken it. And they didn't kind of need a more, it wasn't a, brutal awakening that needed, say, fear or anger or, the intent to kill type thing to, awaken it. It was just when they, appear out of nowhere. Yeah. And, your mum was quite knowledgeable. You also have a talent for sealing jutsus. But, knowing, seeing how you've grown up, you're not really that type to use sealing jutsus. You're more like your dad, you're more, I'd say you've got your spirit of your mum, and, we just have to see how you handle yourself in battles. But, yeah. And your dad wasn't quite well known as, in, the Third Shinobi World War, there was a, rule that if you saw a red flash, get out of there. It'd be a drop everything and get out of that retreat. Like, your dad was famous, and well, so was your mum. It's like, that's all I'll tell you now, Naruto, but as you prove to me that you deserve more, I will tell you more over time. Say you can meet milestones. You meet those milestones / goals, and you get to know more about your parents and who they are. But yeah, just remember, Naruto, you're a member of the Uzumaki clan, a clan that was kind of wiped out. There are still people, that are Uzumaki, but they're scattered across this world. And yeah, because in the third Shinobi World War, the village of the village of the whirlpool, the village hidden in the whirlpools were attacked because they were feared for their ceiling jutsus. But yeah, and that's all I'm gonna say now, too. And it's now just like, okay, but by the way, like, Nine-Tailed Fox, do you have a name? It's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, my name's Naruto, so you must have a name. Like, surely you don't like being called, Nine-Tailed Fox, or whatever people, call you. Surely you have, a proper name. And it's just like, as Kuma would be thinking, do I tell this kid my name? Do I not? Do I? And, he's pondering, it's like, It's like, fine, I'll tell him. He's got to be it. He's like, well, I'm Kuma, kid. And that's just like, hey, don't call me kid. It's like, well, you are a kid, though. You have to earn my respect. Naruto, once you've earned it, yeah. And I won't bail you out of trouble. Put it that way. I won't bail you out of any trouble. But if it comes to any serious danger, I will be there to help you. As that's where I'm going to end it. So in the next part, we'll go through, I guess, yeah, just when kind of the anime started, pretty much. But anyway, if you guys have enjoyed this, tell me in the comments down below, would Naruto still be bullied? And yeah, what, kind of thing, Naruto's, like, aspiration would still be to become Hokage. And you'd have to learn those reasons in the next part. So yeah. And yeah, so if you guys have enjoyed this, if you enjoyed the challenge and you want to see more just like this, subscribe and see you guys in the next what if video, but depending on what I do. And hey, good bye.